The chairman of Igbo-Eze South local government area of Enugu State has expressed deep outrage over the shocking and tragic murder of 4 children allegedly carried out by a pastor in Ibagwa-Aka, a community in the area council. Towards the evening hours of yesterday, the 16th day of the month of May 2025, our community was shaken by the tragic and heinous murder of 4 innocent children in Ibagwa-Aka, Igbo-Eze South local government area. The chairman stated, "I'm deeply saddened by this act of senseless violence and extend my heartfelt condolences to the family of the victims." He confirmed that he personally visited the crime scene on May 17, accompanied by security personnel from the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Services, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other relevant operatives. He says, quote, "Today I visited this crime scene and accompanied officers of Nigerian Police Force, the DSS and Civil Defense and other relevant security operatives to assess the situation firsthand and to ensure that immediate steps are taken to bring the perpetrators to justice." According to him, preliminary investigations by law enforcement agencies have led to the arrest of several key suspects, while efforts are ongoing to apprehend others who remain at large. He revealed that the facility alleged to have been used for illegal herbal medicine practices, unlicensed psychiatric services, and other spiritual activities believed to be linked to the suspect has been shut down. Following preliminary investigation, law enforcement agencies have apprehended some key suspects in connection with the crime while still searching for others yet at large. He noted that additionally, the premises reasonably believed as alleged to be used for unauthorized herbal medicine operations, rendering of informal psychiatric services, and other yet to be fully explained spiritual activities alleged to be linked to the prime suspect and the crime scene have been sealed by the Igbo-Eze South Local Government Authority pending the outcome of investigation reports by the police. The chairman pledged the local government's full support for the ongoing investigation and reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring that justice is done. He says, quote, "We are fully committed to supporting the ongoing investigation and ensuring that justice is served." He says, "I wish to assure the people of Igbo-Eze South that we will continue to collaborate closely with security agencies to strengthen surveillance, enhance community safety, and prevent such grievous incidents from recurring." He concluded with an appeal to residents and civil society organizations for continued cooperation and support for security agencies. In the quiet community of Ibagwa-Aka, Igbo-Eze South local government area of Enugu State, a tragedy has unfolded, leaving a family shattered and the community in shock. 4 children, Kamsiyochukwu Ezema 7, Ezinne Ezema 6, Ujunwa Ezema 5, and Chinedu Ezema 2 of the same parents were murdered with a pestle by a spiritualist, a pastor of a Sabbath Church in the area. Although the motive behind this heinous act remains a mystery, the pain and outrage it has sparked are palpable. The chairman of the Igbo-Eze South local government area, Mr. Ferdinand Ukwueze, has expressed his outrage over the murder, vowing that justice must be served. Ukwueze visited the crime scene accompanied by officers of Nigerian Police Force, the DSS, and other security operatives to assess the situation and ensure that immediate steps were taken to bring the perpetrators to justice. The council chairman ordered the sealing of the premises where the incident took place, believed to be used for unauthorized herbal medicine operations and spiritual activities linked to the prime suspect. The devastated parents, Chinonso Ezema and Ibagwa-Aka, who were away during the incident, are demanding justice for their children. As the community mourns the loss of these young lives, the authorities are working tirelessly to bring the perpetrators to justice. The people of Igbo-Eze South are assured that the government will collaborate closely with security agencies to strengthen surveillance, enhance community safety, and prevent such grievous incidents from recurring. Meanwhile, efforts to speak with the police public relations officer SP Daniel Ukwueze on the incident failed as he didn't take his calls or respond to text messages seeking comments.
Enugu Police Command arrest firearm fabricator. Others, in separate operations, recover firearms and other exhibits. Operatives of the Enugu State Police Command have arrested 4 male suspects in separate operations for offences of armed robbery, unlawful possession of firearms, cultism, and drug trafficking. 2 firearms and quantities of weeds suspected to be loud were recovered, reflecting the proactive policing strategies of the Commissioner of Police, CP Maman Giwa. On May 9, 2025, operatives of the Crack Tactical Squad recovered a Beretta pistol from Ikechukwu Ugwele alias Angle 90, age 35, following his initial arrest and the recovery of weeds suspected to be a premium variant of marijuana, popularly known as loud. He confessed to several criminal activities and led operatives to the firearms recovery. Similarly, on May 8, 2025, police operatives of the Command's Anti-Quantum Tactical Squad arrested Igbo-Eze alias Camera, age 25, and recovered a locally made pistol. His arrest followed confessions by Ujunwa alias Asai, age 29. Eze Chinedu Ezema confessed to being a fabricator of firearms, while Chinedu is involved in transformer vandalism. The suspects confessed to being members of the Vikings confraternity. All the suspects will be arraigned upon the conclusion of investigations. Recall that Giwa, during the press briefing on May 8, 2025, reported the arrest of 291 suspects since assuming office in March. These include the arrest of 42 suspects for armed robbery, 33 for kidnapping, 12 for murder, 6 for unlawful possession of firearms, 5 for rape and defilement, 44 for cultism, and 149 for the other crimes. He also reported the rescue of 36 kidnapped victims and the recovery of 44 firearms, 173 rounds of ammunition, and 20 vehicles exhibits. The Commissioner has reaffirmed the Command's resolve to sustain the fight against unrepentant criminals and urged citizens to remain cooperative and vigilant in ensuring public security and safety. Meanwhile, in other developments, the police have smashed an armed robbery and mini truck snatching syndicates, arrest one suspect, rescue victim, and recover a stolen truck. Police operatives of Enugu State Command attached to Ozala Division in collaboration with Neighborhood Watch personnel on May 11, 2025 at about 3 p.m. smashed an armed robbery and mini truck snatching syndicate. One male suspect, Chinedu Ezema, age 35, was arrested. The operatives also rescued a male victim who had been tied to a tree in the bush and recovered his Daihatsu hijet mini truck, locally known as Diana, which the suspect and his fleeing accomplices have stolen at gunpoint. The suspect and his gang had hired the driver to transport bags of sand from the Ubete area of Enugu to Umuatuaboma in Kano West local government area. However, along the Umuatuaboma-Obofia road, they diverted the vehicle into a bush at gunpoint, tied the driver to a tree, and fled with the truck. A prompt response by the operatives led to the arrest of the suspect, while others escaped. During interrogation, the suspect confessed to the crime and admitted to participating in a similar operation the previous month, for which he was paid 90,000 naira as proceeds from the sale of another snatched mini truck. Investigations are ongoing to apprehend the fleeing suspect. The Commissioner of Police, CP Maman Beatrice Giwa, has reaffirmed the Command's unwavering resolve to clamp down on unrepentant criminals of his nature. He urges mini truck and other types of truck operators to remain vigilant and cautious about whom they accept conveyance jobs from and their destinations to avoid falling victim to such criminal acts.
Corruption, extortion, harassment or intimidation of citizens will not be tolerated under my watch. Any officer found culpable will face severe disciplinary action. Specifically, I have directed that the extortion of citizens before case documentation and handling must cease immediately, and that officers must refrain from meddling in civil matters, particularly land disputes, and instead explore alternative dispute resolution and restorative justice where applicable. I further warn them against unlawful arrest and prolonged detention without recourse to Western laws. I also emphasize the need for police officers to be emotionally intelligent and to put a human face to their work while coming down hard on unrepentant criminals and violators of the law. Recently, the command received a complaint via X, which is former Twitter, alleging the extortion of 250,000 naira by police officers attached to a distress response call. I immediately directed that the case be investigated and that the officers involved be tried in an orderly room. Once the trial process is concluded and the necessary approval is obtained from the Assistant Inspector General of Police on 13, since one of the team members holds the rank of Inspector of Police, the public will be duly informed of the punishment imposed. I have also ensured the redeployment of several supervisory officers and their subordinates who have conducted themselves unprofessionally to serve as a deterrent to others. I assure the public that I will spare no efforts in instilling discipline within the command and in upholding the ethics and codes that guide the activities of the Nigerian Police Force as a disciplinary institution. However, I seek the continued cooperation and support of all citizens in this regard. To enhance security, we are leveraging the state-of-the-art command and control center and distress call established by the Enugu State government under His Excellency Dr. Enugu Ezema. These initiatives, including modern technology, will be maximally utilized for effective policing, examinations, and cultism. 1. Case of unlawful possession of fire and arrest of suspects. On April 30th, 2025, at about 11 a.m., police operatives of the command attached to the distress response squad while on routine patrol along Ozana, Udi Road, intercepted a commercial bus bound for Odisha and Anambra State. Upon searching the bag of one of the passengers, named Ojobina Ahmadi, aged 28 years, of Amudwa Masri in Afiku North, local government of Enugu State, recovered a locally made pistol. The suspect will be arraigned in court upon the conclusion of the ongoing investigation. Several cases has to do with arrest of armed robbery suspects and recovery of firearms and ammunition and other exhibits. Following a report of threatening violence and assault, 2 male suspects, Ujunwa, age 29, and Ibagwa-Aka, age 26, were arrested on the 27th of April 2025 at about 3 p.m. by operatives attached to our police division. The search warrant was executed at their residence on Harmony Road, Ibagwa-Aka, which led to the recovery of 1 locally made pistol and 6 mobile phones. Upon interrogation, the suspects confessed to be members of an armed robbery gang and led operatives in a bush at Umuchigodike Enugu, where a cut-to-size single-barrel gun and 2 rounds of 7.62 by 39 mm ammunition were recovered. Further investigation is ongoing to apprehend their accomplices and recover additional exhibits. The third case is a case of arrest of notorious cultists and armed robbery suspects and recovery of firearm and ammunition. Following a report of armed robbery and cultism, operatives attached to the sugar sector of the anti-cult tactical squad on April 24, 2025, arrested one Asogwa Kinsley, aka Severe, age 21. A Beretta pistol loaded with 5 live rounds of ammunition and an unregistered black Lexus car were recovered, along with a studio speaker and power bank stolen from the victim. The suspect confessed to the crime and identified himself as the leader of the Neo-Black Movement of Africa, otherwise known as the Black Axe. He is assisting in our investigation. The fourth case has to do with the case of arrest of suspects for conspiracy, armed robbery, murder, and recovery of G3 assault rifle. These operatives also attached to anti-cultism tactical squad on April 23, 2025 at about 4:45 p.m. recovered a G3 assault rifle with an empty magazine from 5 male suspects involved in a case of conspiracy, armed robbery, and murder. The suspects include 1. Sunday Akroyi aka Leba, age 32. Ofobike Promise Goji aka Ofo, age 32. Ebubechukwu Ikweme aka Achike, age 27. Chukwuebuka Obodo, age 33. Chinedu Ezema, age 23. And Okechukwu Igwe aka Tiana, age 43. Akroyi, Igboji, and Ikweme were initially arrested for credible information. However, their confessional statements led to further arrest of Eze and Igwe respectively, and the recovery of the firearm. The suspects will be arraigned in court once our investigations are concluded. The fifth case has to do with arrest of an armed robbery and cultism suspect and recovery of firearms and other weapons. Acting on a distress call reported that about an armed robbery incident along the Enugu-Aka Expressway. Operatives of the anti-cult tactical squad promptly responded and arrested one Ibagwa-Aka, age 38, where the following items were recovered. 1. A cut-to-size simple barrel gun. 2. 1 expanded cartridge. 3. 1 pickaxe. 4. 1 cutlass and 1 walkie-talkie. The suspect confessed to be a member of the Supreme Vikings confraternity and is assisting in the investigation of our case towards enabling us to arrest his accomplices. The sixth case is a case of arrest of suspects for conspiracy, unlawful possession of ammunition, cultism, and recovery of exhibits. For the tip-off about suspected cultist activities in Ugwachi, Enugu South, local government area, operatives of the anti-cult tactical squad. They also arrested the following male suspect with him while others fled. 1. Iwo Daniel, age 25. Ugu Theophilus, age 45. And Okafor Gosi, age 30. They confessed to be members of the Blast Acts confraternity. One locally fabricated double barrel bomb and 1 expended and 14 live cartridges were recovered from them. The suspects have been arraigned in court and remanded in the Correctional Custodial Center and trafficking, and then rescue of child and arrest of suspects. Acting on intelligence, operating from our anti-kidnapping squad to rescue a 4-year-old girl in Abia State on the 25th of March 2025. She was stolen on March 15, 2025 by her family's neighbor, one Esther Dejo, age 55, who was later arrested in Enugu State on March 23, 2025. Her accomplice, Onyinye Benjamin, age 62, was also arrested in Abia State. Esther Dejo had rented an apartment in the same compound as the victim's parents in Ebeobala, in Soka local area, and kidnapped the child. Barely 2 weeks later, the suspects confessed and the case has been charged to court. So here, I have summary of the achievements which will be made known to you. The total number of suspects were arrested during my assumption of duty. That's the past 2 months. I've arrested a total of 228 suspects, which includes number of suspects arrested for armed robbery, 42. Number of suspects arrested for kidnapping, 33. Number of suspects arrested for murder, 12. Number of suspects arrested for unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition, 6. Total number of suspects arrested for rape and defilement, 5. Total number of suspects arrested for cultism and associated crimes, 44. Total number of suspects arrested for varieties of crimes, including stealing, breaking of fences, vandalism,
let's calm down, please.
149. Total number of persons we have rescued and the recoveries were made. Total number of 36 kidnapped victims have been successfully rescued, while a total of 44 firearms of different calibers have been recovered, including a G3 assault rifle. The total number of ammunition of different calibers recovered, 173. Total number of vehicular SUVs recovered, 20. In conclusion, gentlemen of the press, these brief descriptions of some of our modest operational successes are intended to provide insight into our ongoing efforts to combat crime in Enugu State.